Welcome back. You're watching NHL Tonight. After sweeping the Oilers in round one, the Jets got a taste of their own medicine in round two, stymied by Carey Price and the Habs, who ousted them in just 4 games. Here is Jets head coach Paul Maurice looking back on this season.
I understand in my job, you're always going to have your critics, and that's a beautiful part of pro sports. It's the passion of the game. But I'm really proud of the job I did and this staff did this year under incredibly trying circumstances. The culture in our room right now is as good as it's been since I've been here. And I think that's priority one for your job as a coach. I think we have more players invested in Winnipeg now than we ever had. Truly, the Jets, the community, the long-termedness.
From an ultimate end goal, we've got to get better. There's no question about it. Like, we have to find ways, whether, you know, again, it's something that you challenge yourself all the time. And there's no, you're never really truly satisfied or truly successful in your own mind unless you do win the cup.
All right, let's start with this. Would Mark Scheifele have made a difference in that series loss? Would we be talking about Winnipeg being in their offseason right now?
It'd be hard to imagine that he wouldn't make a difference, but would he have been enough for Winnipeg to win? My suspicion is no, but I do think that, unfortunately, we never got to see that, and he really took some wind out of their sails. Players don't do these things for selfish reasons. It's such a fast game. Sometimes they just happen. But as we saw with Kadri and with Scheifele, just one bad decision can really derail your hockey club. And Winnipeg, for me, was a team that was reeling down the end of the season.
Yeah.
And they got it together against Edmonton, won a bunch of close games in a series that a lot of people didn't necessarily think they would win. They swept them, and then they got swept. So I have mixed emotions about this group, to say the least.
Yeah, I thought that it was really a tale of 2 seasons for Winnipeg. They had a great run, then down the stretch they were limping into the postseason. Then you look at what they did against Edmonton. As you said, they beat them in a controlled way, although those games went to overtime. They played a very controlled brand. I thought they got off their game a little bit in that round against the Montreal Canadiens, and they went away from some of the things that made them successful. Hunting pucks, being physical, being hard to play against, and making plays in small areas. And instead of that, they became a little looser defensively and offensively. So they've got a lot of good pieces. Yeah. Make no mistake about it. They've got great leadership. Paul Maurice and his staff did an outstanding job. But in general, I don't think people realize how hard of a year it was, not for all of us in life, because it is, and it has been, but especially for those Canadian teams up there under the hyper-tight restrictions that they were under. It was really, really difficult. I've spoken to a lot of people that I give them a lot of credit for being able to navigate through it as teams and as organizations.
And that was one of the first things we heard from Paul Maurice, talking about the season that he had to go through and just the joy he took in the team and how they kind of persevered. When you look at Winnipeg next year, are they taking a step forward or a step back? Where's this team?
They're going to have to address their D core. We talked about that earlier. There's a number of D that are available as unrestricted free agents this year. They have one themselves in Derek Forbort. As you take a look at some of the top guys by ice time in the National Hockey League, and Derek Forbort is on that list, so they would do themselves well to re-sign him for sure and maybe try to upgrade. Pullman obviously ended up in the top pair, but that was because DeMello got injured. I still think they can upgrade their top 4. That would make a big difference. I did like the performance of Logan Stanley.
Logan Stanley looks really good. I'd say this. I'd love to see Alexiak there. That's a big, powerful man that's hard to play against.
That we shall see.